Hey, there we go.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, we're here. We made week 12. 12 weeks.
Week 12. I don't know what that's all about. Well, week 12, we're 2 weeks without Greg out of the 12, so that's like bonus. So that's like, I don't know. It's got to be worth something. So, how y'all doing?
Good. What you drinking there? You drinking some scalding hot tea? It's 107 degrees there.
Yeah. If it's out here much longer, it will be hot tea. No, it's the fancy McDonald's unsweet tea, iced tea. We got that on the ride home. But trying to keep cool. The next few days are going to be brutal again. But I was told by one of my coworkers that rumor has it, coming up here shortly, we're going to go into another cold spell where it's only going to be in the 101 to 103 range.
Oh, nice.
And then maybe even down into the 90s for the high for a while. That would be a nice break for us. But yeah, we're due for 107, 107, 108 the next 3 days.
Wow.
So I'm going to adjust this up a little bit. So how about you, Mike? How are things going up there?
Oh, it's high 80s up here right now. So I got the AC on both rooms. It's kind of hot, but tolerable. Not like where you're at. I remember driving through Texas. That's really hot down there. So yeah, nice and comfortable in here right now.
Excellent. Sounds great.
Yeah. The only thing I forgot to do is grab a beer.
You got to remember that one of these weeks here.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. How are things going up there? Did you get a bunch of rain? I thought I saw something on the Weather Channel on TV was saying something about Pittsburgh was going to get a bunch of rain.
Yeah, we got nailed the other day pretty good. Some rain. Right now, my fan in the garage is saying it's 89. It don't feel too bad though with the breeze from the fan coming across here, so must not be as humid right now. We got nailed with some storms the other night. There was some branches down when I got up for work the next morning and stuff. Some flicker with the electric here the other day. We do have an air warning for the next 3 days again, I think. So air pollution warning again.
Oh, jeez.
But next week, I think it is next Monday and Tuesday. Mrs. Postile and the boy, they're going to be heading up to Erie for a couple of days of vacation without me. So they're heading up there to the water park, and they're going to go up to Lake Erie and have some fun without me. So I'll be bachelor for a few days there, unless my daughter decides to come check on me and make sure I'm all right.
Right, nice.
Cool.
Lake Erie always makes it into, when Kelly and I talk about travel to people, Lake Erie always makes it into the conversation. Because when we travel, if we have a destination, like we went up to Chicago, because as Mike knows, it's great mistakes. I mean, Great Lakes. When Jason graduated boot camp, we went up to Chicago for that. So we beelined up there because we knew when we had to be there. And then we don't make any plans for the trip home. And we were going to go over to Michigan and then down through Illinois and over into Ohio and down through Kentucky. And we first we went up to Wisconsin. We saw Lake Michigan, first time ever seeing a Great Lake. And then we drove around through Chicago and up to the Michigan side of Lake Michigan. And while we were sitting there eating lunch at a health food place, McDonald's, I looked on Google Maps. I'm like, if we just go this way, we can see another Great Lake today. So we drove across Michigan and went to Lake Erie and stayed the night there. Near Toledo, and I got some cool pictures of the sunrise coming up over Lake Erie, and it's really good time. But that's the way we travel. It's where we end up. It was a really great time. So Lake Erie makes it into our travel stories quite often. But,
cool.
But let's see. Anything I'm missing? And I'm not missing really much in the chat because it's mostly just Derek. So there's nothing good. Kelly and Polo are talking about dinner. So we'll leave. We don't need to put that up. But Oh, I do gotta apologize though. I want to do this at the beginning of the video because I feel really bad. I was watching your live stream today, and you were playing that what's it called? Rockin' off road, rockin'
Rockin' Racing Off-Road DX or something.
I had put out my video earlier in the day, and I made the game look easy. And then I watched you play, so I gotta apologize for setting you up for failure.
Well, and that's always my problem with those games. That you're supposed to let go of the accelerator more so than use a brake, and you never brake in those games, really. But
yeah,
I never want to let loose of the accelerator. I'm just like, I'm going to go. Well, that takes you right off the road and into the.
Yeah. Well, the only time I hit the brake is when I thought it was a boost button. I saw the little brake light or whatever, a spark. I'm like, oh, that's a boost. I'm like, oh no, that's the brake, you idiot. Yeah, but it does.
Well, my very first race, I hit that button instead, and I threw it into reverse the very first race. So
nice. But that game does. There's a cheat for all you people that are watching. That game play, you need to work that throttle because if you bonsai into the corners, they put jumps right before them, and you end up in the wall a mile high. You should be in the stands, but your lap times increase exponentially by letting off the gas and coasting in the corner. But yeah, Kelly says, "Floor it, Poe."
I did. I sucked till the end. I got the hang of it at the end. So
yeah, it's a fun little game. It very much reminds me of that Ivan Ironman Stewart's off-road.
Yeah.
Just a little cleaner, a little less, blocky with the jumps, but
right.
It's a fun game. I was nervous that first race I did when you hit the gas, how slow they take off. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to be slow motion racing? What? Yeah.
I was watching you play that today, and I was like, oh man, this is like granny races here. I don't know if it's even worth the price of admission, but then it took off after that. I'm like, all right, this is all right.
Yeah. Wait, I'll be curious. Are you going to record when you do the buggies? Or go live with it?
I might go live with it. I'll probably end up putting it on one of these afternoons after. It's hard to say because lately after work I haven't felt like playing anything. So
yeah,
I haven't done anything during the work week.
The buggies are kind of fun to race, so I think you'll like it. But yeah, and as you pointed out, right now Nintendo has some great logic going on. Because I bought that 2-pack for $2.99, and then you can buy the Formula One or whatever version for $1.99, or you can buy all 3 games packaged together for the low price of $25. So your choice. You can buy them in 2 separate packages for $5, or you can pay $25 and get it all packaged together. So that's brilliant. But it's a fun little game. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to play the rally one. Probably tomorrow. I'll do a video of that.
Yeah, that looks cool too.
Yeah, but they're addictive little games. That I say at the beginning of my video, I'm just doing a quick little impromptu thing. An hour later, Kelly's in bed, and I'm like, I should probably quit.
Yeah, it was funny because I was watching your video and watching you play it, and I'm looking at the little bar across the bottom of the screen of how much time's left in the video, and you're like, okay, this is the last race. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's only this much filled in red. You've got this much of the video left to go. He's lying to us here. There's something wrong with this picture here.
Yeah, and I edited out like almost 20 minutes of extra races because, it was like 55 minutes long. Until I finished it. I think the finished product was 31 minutes because they do recycle tracks. So I started skipping around, and it was completely random. I didn't pick ones like, oh, I did good on this one. It was completely random. But I got screwed twice because I ended up going backward, or they bumped me onto the wrong road, and then it discounted the whole lap. I was a lap behind everybody. I'm like, what the crap? And, but it's a fun game. It's fun. It's definitely worth the $2.99 I played for both versions.
Yeah.
So I recommend that game. So have you played it before, Mike?
No, not that one, but I seen the Rock and Roll Racing that Poe was driving or playing on that game. Was that the Sega Genesis one that you were playing, Poe?
I think that was the original arcade. It has all the versions on it. That was the Blizzard Arcade collection, and you could choose the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, or the arcade one. So as you can see, like G. Parker was playing on the Pi. He was playing the Genesis version, which had the songs, but they were just like the music. Where the one I was playing were the actual songs.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Which I was surprised when I last checked. I didn't get a copyright yet on it. So.
That's good.
I thought you were toast with the real music playing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Maybe because you were talking and kind of interrupting where it's trying to track the song. Maybe that
could be.
Yeah.
And Derek's on the phone with YouTube right now. Yeah, YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
Get him.
I'm pretty sure the only reason Derek's hanging around is for the My Little Pony backdrop that Greg left for us.
That's why I have my pink cup with me. Okay, to be honest, I happen to have this. I didn't know Greg was going to be nice enough to have this background waiting for us. So.
Yeah. Spooky Zombie Graveyard.
How's everyone?
Hi, how are you? Everyone in the chat.
Doing good, doing good. But yeah, that game reminds me of RC Pro-Am for the NES.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of that when I was a kid. So that would be a game that would be up my alley. I definitely want to get it. I'd probably pick up the Sega Genesis version when I go looking for it. But yeah, I saw that. Like, I've seen that game before. I haven't rented it, but I've seen other people on YouTube play it. It really looked like that game from the NES. So yeah, it does look fun.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember that. Let's see, people are saying hey to Spooky Zombie. He's showing support in the chat. Chat. All right, what up? Oh, did you have something for tonight you wanted to talk about, or?
Oh yeah, just something that happened to come across here in reading just by chance. And yesterday, Saturday, the 15th, was the 40th birthday of the Nintendo Famicom. So I put together just a small 10-minute video. We're allowed to do that little 10-minute video, and for me that's almost impossible, but I did it. 10 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, let me see. I think it came out at 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Bo is a professional. He's professional. All right. Are we ready to play it, or did you have any more intro you wanted to talk about it first?
You know me, I'll probably bull crap more after the video. And I made that video, and from that video, I extended it myself after. So at some point this week, there's going to be a longer version. And spoiler, after the credits, Old Poe comes into the scene on the video I'm going to put out later. There was no room for Old Poe in this one here. So
you had 6 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to try to squeeze him in there, but there wasn't time. So
I mean, there's a joke in there about your wife said 6 seconds is more than you ever need, but I'm not going to say that. That would be inappropriate. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and play the video then. Let's see it.
40 years. How's it going, everybody? It's time for another great Mr. Postile video, and here we are, 40 years. What the hell are you talking about, Mr. Postile? Well, this weekend, this is the 40th anniversary of the Nintendo Famicom. July 15th, 1983, Nintendo introduced the Famicom, the home cassette type video game family computer, or the Famicom, Family Com computer, over in Japan. And it launched with 3 first-party arcade games. That was Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Popeye. And we just so happen to have... Okay, I'm cheating here. I have Donkey Kong 3. That wasn't a launch title. I bought this just because it was cheaper than buying the NES North American version of it at the time. So I've done that. I have an adapter to play Famicom games. I've had it for a while, and I have a bunch of Famicom games that I play on my original NES that I got as a kid. You can do that. But I do have Popeye, of course, as in my other series, the Popeye series. Haven't got to it yet, but I will. I also have the NES version of this, of course, because I love Popeye. But yeah, the Famicom. And what do I have here? The Famicom. That's right. The Japanese NES, right? But this came out well before, a couple years before North America finally got their greedy little sticky American chubby hands on it. And look at it. It's a lot smaller than I would have thought. Now, I've wanted one of these for years. And I just finally got one. I wanted one. Well, I made do with an adapter over here. For a long time, you could get Famicom version games for cheaper. And as long as they weren't heavily text-based games, you were fine with that. You didn't want to get an RPG that was all Japanese unless you knew Japanese. I do not. But anything else, or even games that were exclusive in Japan, I do have one here. I haven't tried yet, but certain games came out over there that didn't come out over here. Maybe you want to bring them here and play them because you never got to. Well, I'm sure you can on emulator and stuff. I like having physical. But anyway, yeah, you could do that and put them in an adapter. So I wanted one, and I wanted a disk system and all that, and I just didn't do it. And I was happy enough, you know. I'm like, you know what? I don't need another piece of hardware. Well, a month or so ago, I don't know. I was on eBay and I saw the gun, the light gun, the Famicom light gun, and I've seen these before, but I saw a good deal. Here was a boxed gun, and I'm like, you know what? I really want that. I really want that for my collection. And this is it. This is what they got over in Japan. I know I'm getting off topic here, as always, but look at this baby. We should have got this, right? Now, I have the original Gray Zapper is what I bought, and then later they came out with the orange one in '89, when everything went to orange for safety reasons here in North America. But this thing, you pull it, and the hammer comes back when you pull the trigger. Look at that light gun. But look, that's not an NES end on there. You can't use this on your NES. Now, there was somebody at some point in time that made an adapter that you could plug this into your NES if you bought this. The guy no longer has them in stock. This was a few years back. There is a thing where you could sign up for an email in case he ever has them. I reached out to him, never heard anything back. But I'm like, well, darn it. Unless I can figure out how to make my own cable, this is just a nice showpiece, right? So, I'm okay with that. I thought this was cool, so I planned on making a video about that. And at some point when I'm looking at it, then I just found a Famicom for a really great price. A really great price. And a lot of them turn yellow through time, and they look like garbage and whatnot. But this one was at a great price, and it's not that filthy. It's not that yellow. It's not that beige. But this is where the gun goes in, the data port, right there. That's what we're looking at. So it plugs right into there. So now I have this. Now the only other thing is these were RF only. I am going to do an AV mod, you know, just to get a nice cleaner picture. But here you have it. This is your Famicom. The controllers were built in. Beautiful controllers, but the wire on the side, that might be something to get used to. Love the red, the burgundy, maroon, whatever color you want to call it. Let's take a look here. 40-year-old system, but look, little dust cover here, and that is where your cartridge goes, right there. You take your Popeye, and just click it in there. Nice, firm grip. Top loader machine. But this came out in 1983 over there, and by the end of 1984, it was the best-selling console in Japan. By the end of 1984, that's how huge it hit. And we were having our game crash over here, North American game crash over here, nowhere else in the world. But then computers got big everywhere else. So 83 over there, did not hit the U.S. until it hit certain test markets in 1985. I was not aware of the NES until fall of '86. When it finally hit our area, I found it completely by accident in our local Kmart. Begged for it and got it Christmas of '86. And I was one of the first people I knew in my area here in Western PA to have an NES. Again, different story for a different time. But these controllers were hardwired in on the Famicom. And the cords aren't that long, so you had to be pretty close. You had to have this pulled out to you. Now, the controller number 2 had a microphone built in, a little volume slider, and games like Legend of Zelda had characters that you could kill by shouting into the microphone. So that's different too. We didn't have that over here. Really cool. Really, really cool. And these things, now the NES was very successful, as we know over here. It brought console gaming back to the US and just blew everybody away, right? Until the Genesis came along, the NES had that stronghold over here like nobody else. And the NES was manufactured over here until 1995, so 85, really 86, think about it, until 95, a 10-year run for the NES. But listen to this, the Famicom, 1983 it came out. It was manufactured in Japan until 2003. 2003, so 20 years. That is crazy. The last Famicom was September 25th of 2003. So 40 years we have of this, 20 years since it was last manufactured. That is crazy. That is a console that's just nuts. And of course Nintendo has been around a lot longer than that, 100 some years, with playing cards and different ventures that they've done, arcade game releases. And in the 70s they did the Duck Hunt light gun thing, you know, for arcades. Craziness. And I even have, years ago, my first 8-bit Do, I bought 8-bit Do controllers for my NES wireless controllers, my SNES and my Sega Genesis. I bought the Famicom version, which it's 4 buttons with shoulder buttons, but I mean, I just like the color scheme so much because it looked like a Famicom controller, except you have 4 buttons and shoulder control. But it even looks like it here. So, thought that was very neat. And yeah, it was true to size. If you look at it, it fits right into that controller holder. So yeah, I thought it was really cool, and fits right in there. But 40 years, happy birthday to the Nintendo Famicom. Really something neat. And I don't know, just think it's a really cool machine. And like I said, I have the disc player coming here really soon. Really looking forward to that and trying some of those out. So something that I really wanted and didn't plan on it, but then the light gun happened and things kind of snowballed, and now here we have it, all this stuff. But another neat thing is just the differences in cartridge size. Now the chip inside is the same size, really. The pin are different, but here you have Duck Hunt in the US, Duck Hunt on the Famicom. Cartridge differences, and of course my original Mario Brothers that came packed in with my NES and the Famicom version. So really cool. Trying to keep this shorter if I can, but happy birthday to the Nintendo Famicom.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yes, like I said, I've always wanted one for the collection, so I finally got one. And yeah, I really should have stuck to a script or some bullet points there, but you know me, blah 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 blah. I put the video off to the last second, so that when I did do it, I was like, oh man, I'm all over the place. And you can see at one point a yellow jacket flew in here, and I was kind of trying to wave it off and everything else. So good times.
Nice. Well, a couple of things stood out. One of them I just put Derek's text up there. Awesome facts. I want to yell at enemies now. So it had a microphone. You could actually kill your enemies by yelling at the controller.
Yeah, they had a microphone built in, which I do believe they're the first ones to ever do that. You know, Player 2 controller has a microphone built right in here, a volume slider in the thing, and they had those characters, which from different Zelda videos that I watched, it was still in the instruction manual in the U.S. instruction manual that's how you could kill. I can't remember what those enemies were called. Mike might remember. I can't remember what the enemies were called, but it said loud noises, I think, would kill them, and it made no sense to the kid gamers here in North America.
I remember it was those cat-looking creatures with the big ears. Yep.
Right. But yeah, if you had a Famicom, you could actually scream whatever you wanted. I mean, I think there's even videos of guys out there now screaming swear words and stuff just for fun to kill.
Yeah, see, that was going to be my next question, a follow-up to that. Do you have to say the whole thing, or can you just mother, son of a... Is that good enough?
Right, yeah, whatever you want to scream.
Because if it comes to yelling out cuss words, I've been known when I'm not recording myself, I could kill a lot of enemies because I'm just usually. And I don't. Who the F invented this game? What is going on?
Right. Yeah, I think it just had to deal with how loud you yelled something would kill it, not actually what you said.
Right.
But yeah, I always loved the colors of those. That's why I said when I got my 8-bit DOE controller years ago for my NES Bluetooth controller, they had the option of getting one that looked like the NES colors or Famicom. So I ordered the one that looked like the Famicom. And I didn't realize, I mean, they got the dimension size. It's perfect on these things. You can put them right into the Famicom controller, holder there, and it fits right in. So,
yeah, and that's an interesting design, having the cord on the Famicom controller come out the side.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how people hold their controllers in Japan.
Right.
I don't know. Because those little controllers, my hands wrapped all around them. It's standard size controller, but I don't know.
Another thing that shows you that I have never really messed with these is in that video you see that I put the Popeye cartridge in while I'm talking about it. I stick the thing in there and then you see me rip it back out, totally forgetting that the Famicom has an eject button here. No. So I just ripped the thing back out without using the eject on,
Oops.
Yeah. You hit the eject, it just comes right up. Voila.
Yeah. That's a rookie American move.
Hey, on that Popeye game, does Popeye jump? The Japanese version, come on, it's got to jump.
That's what the shoulder buttons are on the
yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Derek thinks that's funny. Kelly thinks it's really funny. even Kelly facepalmed when he said, I said, Derek just asked about the jumping. Oh, that's funny stuff. That's funny stuff. That's how you be famous forever, Derek. People will remember that comment. That'll be on his tombstone someday. Here lies Derek. He died because Popeye couldn't jump. Oh, that's really cool, though, Poe. That was a great video. I look forward to your follow-up with the extended version. And you're going to do a Popeye video with the Famicom version also?
Yeah, and I promised everybody I did that Commodore video, which at first, man, that first half of the week, I'm like, wow, barely anybody's watching that Commodore one. The other ones seemed to climb kind of quick. And then towards the end of the week, it blew my other Popeye videos away. So people must have eventually found it. And maybe because I hardly ever talk Commodore, maybe it just took a while for people to find that. But,
yeah.
And I promised that the 5200 one was going to be out really quick, and I still haven't got it out yet. So here we go again,
Well, life happens. Sometimes things come up. It would be nice if the people that are full-time YouTubers and can just not have to deal with,
So which one's
other... Go ahead. What were you saying, Mike?
Oh, no. It was kind of like freezing. I was asking, so which one was the best? It was the Commodore, Poe, the Commodore version. It seems like a lot of people interested.
A lot of people were watching that one, yeah. So, you got to figure there's a lot of Commodore owners back in the day. And like I said in that video, Commodore had 2,000 some games too. So,
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people played that one back in the day. Even if Olive Oil did look like a hobbit in it.
That's my favorite part on that. And what was it? Brutus looks like it's hurting someone.
Sporting the do-rag. It was nice. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I look forward to seeing more on the Famicom and how many more versions of Popeye do you have to put out?
The 5200 one. As soon as I get that together, that'll be out. And then I have the NES one, and and I have the Famicom one, which is just the same exact thing, except the title screen is going to be in Japanese. And then I have the learning game, which teaches English, but it's Popeye Arcade, but it teaches English. So, and then the 7800 homebrew.
Nice.
Okay.
I have 2 computer versions that I can't play because I don't have the computers to play that. So those are just part of the collection. So that'll be it. I'll be wrapping up, and then I'll do the arcade version off of my Pandora. So we'll wrap it up with the final one. So really, 3 or 4 actual gameplay ones that I'll do.
Okay, so the Popeye series ends sometime in 2027.
Yep, 2027, and then the Famicom stuff that I want to get around to. We're talking, I should be about 86 by the time I get done with all that stuff.
You will be old Poe. You'll need a filter to become young Poe again. Yeah.
The adventures of that idiot young Poe.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. There's kind of a cliffhanger, that extended version that comes out with old Poe. I don't like to give too much away, but like I said, he comes out at the very end. He finds the Famicom sitting there, and he also finds the revolver sitting there. And then the screen goes blank at the end of that, and then Nacho No Biting comes up. So you have to decide what happened at the end there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
That's our summer cliffhanger there.
So, what kind of end is on that gun? You said it didn't have the Nintendo. What type of end is it? What does it plug into?
Yeah, this end here, I can't even remember how many. Let's see here. There's a 15 pin. Yeah, 15 pin. And they have their own data port right on the front of the Famicom that it plugs into. It's right there.
That's a 15 pin.
Yeah,
For that
the
gun?
mail on here. Yeah, and I believe their Rob probably plugs in there too. Their robot.
Yeah.
Which I always thought that looked cool too. Their Rob has the burgundy or the red arms instead of the gray like the U.S. version had.
Was that the old joystick ports on PCs? Weren't those 15 pin ports? You remember?
Oh, jeez.
Back in the way old days.
Yeah.
And you had a port back there, and it was like a 15 pin. I wonder if that's what it was based on, a standard computer joystick port.
Because I remember when I had like a laptop in Kosovo, I had the connection for it to my laptop was really, it looked long, kind of like that I plugged into my laptop. It was an old I'm trying to think, I don't know if it was an HP, but I think it was an HP that I had. But yeah, it was like big, and it was a flight stick when I was trying to get like into flights, but I was really bad at it. Well, it was like a Navy pilot game that I bought like on Microsoft before.
Yeah, this is the original US Zapper, the gray, and the end was just like the controllers we had everywhere, so different end than what the Famicom had. But
Yep.
We had this. I bought this one right away in '87. I got the Nintendo in '86, and then in '89 when they started doing all the safety stuff, that's when they came out with the orange. So
I got the orange one.
Yeah, so that you weren't running around and the police wouldn't gun you down in the street for having this baby. And they would really be gunning you down if you had this baby. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Ballistic Coffee Boy is in the house. He says, hey.
Oh, hey, Ballistic.
Oh, hey.
Good to see you.
And he asked Mr. Postile, is that my NES Zapper? Did you?
You had this one?
Yeah, I
Most
don't know.
people, it seems like most people I talked to had the orange from '89.
Yeah.
And my
Right.
work buddy had this one, and that's where I got this one from. He gave it to me one time.
Let's see.
So this is the
asked if it
original
was-
one.
Derek asked if it was a serial port we were talking about. It might have been the serial port back then. It was 15 pin. Ballistic
Yeah.
Coffee Boy says, you guys know if you turn the contrast all the way up in your TV, you never miss hitting a duck, no matter where you shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never did that. I know, like, some of my relatives, they'd actually go right towards the TV and just. It really bothered me. They clang on the screen, like, dude, what are you doing? And then shooting the duck, like, pang, pang.
Now, my brother and I would wait until my parents were gone, and we would just crank up the sound on the Zenith to make it sound like there was a war going on in the house, you know. Just boom, 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 boom. We wouldn't even aim at the screen. We'd just start shooting. You know.
Ballistic had the gray one, he says, the original.
The gray. Okay, yep.
And
That's the best.
Derek says, so the gray one looked like guns back then. Yeah, it's a little known fact, but that world famous picture of Billy the Kid where he was leaning on that rifle, that was photoshopped in. Originally, it was one of those, it looked just like the gray zapper. That's what real guns look like.
Oh, you
All
think
the way
about
up until like 1960.
And I'm pretty sure Al Capone carried one too.
all the cap guns that we had, the revolvers and everything, you know, we didn't have the orange ends on until the end of the '80s. We
Yeah.
were all running around with squirt guns and everything else that looked like real guns back in
Remember
the day.
the laser tag guns? That's the one where the
Yeah.
kid got shot.
Yeah. But then it all, you know, our urban legend, it all went to everything. Somebody ran outside with a zapper, somebody ran outside with this or that, and the cops gunned them down, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so we're all imagining this 6-year-old running down the back street near our house, getting gunned down with a zapper in his hand. Oh my, you can't have that, you know. Meanwhile, Japan had this, you know, and this looked like, and when you pull the trigger, the hammer comes back on the thing, you know. This thing is awesome. And they even had a holster you could buy for this. Some of the Famicom commercials show it when they're playing Wild Gunman. That was part of the challenge, is to actually have this in the holster and then pull it up. Now, you know, I was going to order one of those, but, you know, I'm way too fat to be wearing that thing. The thing's from the from the 80s, so I think a 40-year-old holster is probably just going to rip apart as soon as I try to put it on my waist anyway.
Yeah. I still remember well the first time I got one of those cap guns. Remember that had the plastic ring and those caps were really loud? And
Yeah.
then I had to pry that orange thing that they stuck out. I had to pry that out of the barrel. What is this? And, I remember those days. Let's see. Ballistic says, called the family back to her room one Christmas, proceeded to blam, blam, blam anyone who went back. Turned the volume up, had a great time. Yeah.
And we would take those caps out back and put them on a cinder block and just a rock. Yeah.
Get all 8 to go at once. Kapow! Like, yeah. What's it? Derek had an awesome 007 non-orange tip gun metal. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, the old ones with the paper reel, the old cap guns.
The 007 gun can't kill anybody. It just pisses people off when you shoot that thing.
Yeah.
The round in it that's used, yeah, I would rather use Walther PPQ.
Yeah.
But
Ballistic had-
but that's cool. It's a cool collectible, Derek, though.
Yes. Ballistic has the Atari Zapper with this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of those a few years ago, too. I was going to buy one of those. They were pretty pricey. Now, somebody just announced something. There's an adapter coming out you can get on the waiting list for the 7800 to use your Sega Master System gun on the 7800. And to use Sega Master System and Genesis controllers on your 7800. And there's also a new adapter to play ROMs on your 7800. I just saw it today. You can get on the waiting list. So that's pretty cool. Something that I'm eyeing up. I know there was another adapter made similar to that to use controllers on the 7800 before, but this is a new company. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the adapter to play the 7,800 games is somewhere around $169 or something when it does become available. So, you know me, I already have things ordered that cost around that same price coming out this year. Everything's coming out at once, and it's one of those things, too, where it's like, if you don't buy it when it comes out, is there going to be another batch even made of these things? That's what really stinks about this stuff all coming out at once like this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That kind of leads me into one thing that I was going to bring up, and I was going to throw Mike to what you were going to talk about, but since Poe said that, I'm going to take cuts because mine's really brief. Glenn's retro deck for the iArcade, and the big announcement, they had the video out this week and all that with the little box that Mystery Encoder is involved, and oh my gosh, what's the other guy? Well, who's the guy that's making the board? I just left my head.
Yeah. I always remember Mystery Encoder. I don't ever remember the other guy.
Yeah. So something console. Oh man, he's making the board. They got prototypes out. This board will let you, when it's done, it will let you back up your iArcade system. So if something happens, you can reinstall, reflash it back to stock. And it's looking like it does work with Glenn's retro deck, or whatever he's calling it, the Glenn's deck for the. You ordered one, right, Poe? You pre-ordered one.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to have to pre-order one because Glenn said in that video he's going to take orders up through the end of this month, and then he's only going to make like 10% more than what his current order count is. So if he's almost to 600, so he'll make 600 and then 60 extras, and he may or may not do another run depending on if people want it. So they are.
I had to have the thing as soon as I saw that trackball on there and the spinners and everything. Because I've always wanted to have a main machine anyway, so and to add all the ROMs and everything, you know, I had to have the thing. So
yeah, and you'll be able to do that with Glenn's little computer board that he will be releasing later this year. Also, for I think it's going to be another $50. And what does the deck cost? It's like 160.
160, yeah, 169, 160. Yeah, it was in that price range right there.
In that ish range. So, yeah. So if you're thinking about getting one of those, if you have an arcade and you're on the fence, you might want to order. It could just be brilliant marketing by Glenn and getting everyone FOMO'd out. And oh no, I gotta order it, but it's working for me because I'm going to go ahead and order one this week. And I still, since Greg's not here, we can say we did get Greg's other credit card. He had that first one canceled. I got his second one. So I mailed you guys copies of it, and
nice.
So we'll have all that stuff going.
And I thought about getting that whole machine. You know, there's guys that make that you know that you can order the decals and change your whole machine. And I actually thought about doing the whole thing in Popeye, but as I told you guys, once again, I think it was Facebook I'm going down through, and I saw that the pop figures for Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3 in the ring. And I'm not a toy collector anymore. I might have been had I hadn't lost my whole toy collection back in 2009 when we moved. But when I saw that Andre and Hulk in the wrestling ring, I'm like, oh, that goes perfect with my Retromania cabinet. I'm going to put that on the top of the thing, you know. So I went ahead and I jumped on that. I ordered that from WWE, and they sent that to me in a couple of days. They had that thing on sale. So yeah, I got Andre and Hogan now. That's going to go right on top of my iArcade now down again.
How much was it, Poe?
They had it marked down. I think it was $27.
Oh, that's
what
not
they
bad.
had it marked down. Yeah,
yeah.
It says on it was a Target exclusive, I guess. I don't know. I got it through WWE. I don't know if you can see it there. Did you catch it, Mike? Yeah.
It's bothering
me. Look at Andre. It's huge. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Hulk Hogan, get your hand off my shoulder. Andre, brother. Andre. Come on, brother. Don't do this, man.
Now, are you going to leave that in the box, Poe, or are you going to take that
Yeah,
out?
I think so. I have some double-sided tape I think I'm just going to put on the bottom there and stick it right up on top of it.
Okay. Well, Kelly, you're out of luck then. Kelly was hoping you were going to take it out of the box because she wanted to get a picture of herself standing in the ring with those other two, looking up at Andre. So Kelly, you won't be able to get in the ring with those guys. But that's really cool. That'll go great with your iArcade.
You just see the Randy Savage one now too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw they had a Paul Bearer and Undertaker double set on there too. I always liked the Undertaker a lot.
Oh yeah.
But
Nice.
not as much as this icon. I remember watching this match and watching the build up to this match with my brothers when I was a kid, man, and we couldn't believe Andre turned heel at the time. We're watching that stuff on TV and we're just like, oh my God, no, not Andre, you know.
Yeah.
And even Piper at the time, they had Andre and Hogan on Piper's pit, and even Piper went on Hogan's side. He's like, Hogan, he's like, Hulk, you're bleeding. We're like, wow, Hogan and Piper are being nice to each other. We couldn't believe this shit. It's kids, you know, we're eating it up.
Nice. Now Kelly's all depressed. She was looking forward. She was so looking forward to that. She booked plane tickets to Pittsburgh just to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to sneak in that iArcade news because there was some iArcade news that came out this week. I will be buying that other thing as soon as it's available so that I can back up my system. And
if Ballistic's still here, he bought the same cabinet as me actually like a week before I pulled it. I didn't even know he was getting it. He got the same deal I did a week or two before I did, so he was in the same boat as me. He got it, I got it, and then a few weeks later we're like, what? There's no more arcade, you know? So
yeah, but they're keeping it alive. The community's keeping it alive with the mods and the so it's taking off. And I did see they also said really quick, we were going to get back off the arcade, but they said that there is a way that third-party people that were making games for the iArcade before it collapsed and went under. One company already finished the game, and you can buy it online. And this one that Mystic Encoder put out, you can now install it, and it's just like you installed it from the game store. It puts it right in your list with the other games. So they're making it to where third-party distributors and stuff and developers can still make games for the arcade, and you basically download the APK file, is that what they are, and install it onto your system using that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so far it seems like it's going to work, and Glenn said he's going to make sure that it works seamlessly with his system. So
cool.
It's pretty cool. Hopefully some of the developers jump on the bandwagon and start releasing. If they had games that were 80-90% done, maybe they finish them and put them for sale on one of the sites where you can download the APKs and just install it. And then you're still not bootlegging, you're buying a legit game and installing it on your legit system.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of legit games on legit systems, what do you got for us, Mike?
Oh, it might not be a legit game though. I brought for those of you who are wondering from last week's show, I said I had something I was gonna put a video on. Don't have time to do it, but I'll show you what I got. I bought the I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis. There we go. The Ghostbusters Special Edition. So what this version has that's different from the normal Genesis version, it's got I don't know if you can see it. Let me camera. It's got Winston Zedmore. So the person that made the game has Winston put in, and I got to play it. And the game's a lot easier than the original version, so I got quite far on that game. But his sprites look really, really good. And it's kind of cool to even put the animation when they're going to go for a job. They have him on there telling the guys, hey, let's go catch some ghosts and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
It's really good. Like I think they got I'm not sure if Japan had an easier version of this game or not, but it seems a little bit more easier, which I like because the original is kind of hard. So, but yeah, that's actually, and what's kind of cool too. I kind of noticed on the back it has, you can make the game difficult. I don't know why you'd want to, but I guess for those people that like more difficulty, yeah. And there's different challenges. What else do they have? Well, like for Winston, he's got his stamina's normal, speed's normal, and his unique attribute is increased jump height. Yeah, when I played him, I think he seems to have the highest jump out of the other characters in the Ghostbusters game. So, really good game. There's only, I think, 3 copies left on at eBay. So, if you're interested, you could probably find. I forgot what the guy's name is, but if you type up that title, I just Ghostbusters Special Edition for the Sega Genesis, it'll pop up. He's only got 3,
Nice.
and the other way you can get it is through. I'm not sure if it's called Snapchat, but I saw the article. It was in Google about this guy. He corrected the issue where Zedmore should have been put in the Ghostbusters video game. So he worked on it and then released it on, I think, Snapchat, which is kind of weird. And then he sends you someplace else to go buy the game. And I kind of followed it, and then I found him like, oh, okay, he's got like another guy selling it on eBay, so I bought it from him. And I think, yeah, like right now they only got like 3 copies left, but I'm pretty sure you can still buy some more from the Snapchat area. You have to just look it up in Google. He's not really advertising it, so I'm not sure if it's just so he doesn't get in trouble or something. But he felt like he wanted to kind of correct that, and it's cool to have him in the game because I thought, well, it's kind of weird they should have added him on the video game as well. So yeah, really fun game if you're into Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just got to interject my awesome producing skills on this when Greg's not here. If you all notice that I got Mike's screen bigger right when he took the game down. So I'm Johnny on the spot with this stuff. If you want something to highlight, I will get you big and on the screen right after you take it down. So, and then, yeah, Poe, I didn't even make you big during your whole segment, but you got your giant Poe banner behind you anyway.
That was a blessing for everyone. Make me smaller. Make me smaller.
Well, when you're looking back like that, you look like you're in 4K, not PS1 graphics, right?
Right? Yeah. Oh. All
People
right.
like the ponies anyway.
Yep.
People like the ponies. That's true. Derek's here.
I hope next week Greg puts up some strawberry shortcake background.
Nice. That would be good. Yeah, did you have anything more you wanted to talk about with that, Mike? Or
No,
that
was what I want. That's what I wanted to share. And then that my wife, I know, like you saw me kind of blank out. Where did he go? My wife was just handing me some barbecue hamburgers, and we bought like some sort of honey barbecue sauce, and she just made it outside. So I was watching her video. Like, I'll cut the video out and have me eat some of the burger.
Nice.
It's okay, I got an extended cut of that video coming up with a cliffhanger.
Nice. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well.
Oh no! Wait, now though, Dredge Nation's going on now too, right?
Yes.
Between all of us.
Yeah.
Well, between all of you guys, I kind of quit back in May and then never played it again. But
yeah. Every once in a while, Kelly lets me play because she is addicted to that thing. Yeah, she got to some hard part. She's freaking out over
the tentacle monster.
Yeah.
Or did she go towards the end of the map? There's a monster that'll eat her up there. Yeah,
I think it's the big tentacle. I don't know. She's kind of spooked by deep water anyway. and like, deep water for Kelly is a puddle on the side of the road. Is overhead. So she's freaking out, and I'm over on the other side of the couch just laughing because she's like, I don't want to go over this thing. It's gonna kill me. And
it's fine if she just drives fast. Yeah.
It's a switch. It can only be up to 3/4 or half-inch deep. It can't be any deeper than that. You'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine if she just goes full throttle. If you stop there, then something will happen. So just as long as she's moving, she'll be fine. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun with it though. That's a really fun game. Poe introduced us all to that game, and he got a head start, and then he quit playing so we could all catch up to him.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been very hard, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna like you did with Star Wars Saturdays, and you had your Marvel Mondays. Okay, this is gonna be. I can't even remember how I started. I think it was Dredge Monday, something like that. And I would only play on camera. Well, it's like I wanted to play it on camera, do this, and this, and then I didn't even do stuff in the right order. It's like I just wanted to get right to the action, so I wasn't building up stuff that I should build up and stuff. And then I'm like, I'm going to go to this island that's 120 years away. So, like, without doing anything that I should have done. So, it's like, now it's kind of like I should just start all over again and do it the right way and not worry about, So that's really what I should do now, is really just start from scratch and just play the game,
Yeah.
Well, I remember from your video, I saw the seagulls attack you, and when I was playing, I remember like, where did Poe find the angry seagulls? Like, yeah, when you go out to sea too long, you start to hallucinate.
Yeah.
So you don't get enough sleep. You don't go to the harbor to drink some beers. I mean, you're gonna hallucinate out there.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why I'm gonna go back because I saw you got attacked by all those seagulls stealing your fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very fun game. I got so addicted playing that. I think like on my Thursday, so I work 10-hour days right now at the college. So it was like my Friday on Thursday, and I kept playing it till like around, what was it, 2 in the morning. It's like, oh, I gotta go to bed. This game's just taking over my life. It's just so fun to play. Yeah, I got the ship all upgraded, and now I'm just trying to do all the missions right now on it. So really fun.
Nice. Yeah. So Mike has passed us all in one night, in one sitting. That wasn't the game hallucinating, Mike. That was really you.
Yeah.
3:00 in the morning. You're like, just give me.
Yeah, I
some.
need to pull a port.
Yeah.
And they do have a roadmap for DLC coming up. I think like you're gonna have paint come out for your ship and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And
What's
then
that one on the deluxe? It has like a black keys, like another mission. That's the one I think Ray got. I also bought that one as well. It comes with extra stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's supposed to be paid DLC coming out in the future too, I think.
Nice.
So
Yeah, and they're on sale right now on the Switch. Are they on sale on other platforms or just the Switch right now?
I know like on Steam it was on sale. I was gonna originally buy it on there, but when I was kind of like practicing playing on my PC, I'd rather play it in my air-conditioned movie room, so I bought it for the PlayStation. So, but yeah, it's on Steam. I know it was like cheaper if you bought it there.
Yeah.
And I saw it on Switch as well. Just like, well, I play mostly on my PlayStation anyway, so might as well get it for that.
Yeah, we're playing on the Switch, and it was on sale, which is why Poe told us about that. He's like, "Hey, it's on sale on the Switch." And Kelly was making dinner, and I'm like, "Hey, Poe said it's on." So she's like throwing the frying pan down. She's like, "Hold on." She went right over and bought it. And I said, "Is the food burning?" She says, "Just yours. It's fine." That's good. But
yeah, I could see her like playing, like trying to cook at the same time. Like, oh, I got to get here and grab this and get that. It's so addicting, grabbing stuff from the ocean stuff. So, yeah, really fun game.
yeah, let me see. I was on the wrong screen. I didn't know comments were coming in, so sorry. Kelly says it's a fun game, can play for hour.
It's true.
Ballistic says nice with a thumbs up. At this point, I don't know what we said that was nice, but I'm sure pretty much everything. Kelly's on her last upgrade on her boat.
Oh,
I
nice.
think I'm on my first. I don't know. Oh, that's the reason Derek said a movie room. Nice.
Well, it's a movie/game room, Derek.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
we kind of use it for dual purposes.
Yeah. So we are at the 1 hour mark. Should we get to Greg's contribution to this show besides
Sure.
the My Little Pony background?
It's not his hot dog video, is it?
No,
I'm turning it off if it's.
no dogs involved. So no, it's about the FX3 tournament. He does his
cool.
tournament every week. So there should be a recap of what happened on this week's tournament, and I'm guessing he set up the new one. He quick threw this together before he decided to ditch us for his big excursion he's on. But so let's see what Greg's got to say. We'll be back in about 2 minutes and 51 seconds thereabout. Here we go.
Okay, everybody, it's FX3 tournament time. I'm not on the show tonight, but the show must go on as far as the tournaments. So let's look at what happened on Archer Pinball this last week. Mr. Livewire, 1970, first place, 18,450,000. Followed by Tony's Jorgen, 10,602,639. And look at that third place. You can tell when the face is blacked out there that that's because that was played on the Switch. And look at that. That was held for a long time by Derek Pixeltorium. But it looks like G. Parker with the Switch came in at 5,924,000 versus Derek's 5,905,000. That's like 19,000 points difference. Wow. We finish up the scoreboard with Postile, Off Grid, and then G. Parker that I played on the cabinet that was just a startup game at 1,333,643. I never did get back to play it on the cabinet, so I just played on the Switch. So anyway, let's get down here and continue, and let's create another tournament. And let's decide what table we're going to use. Let's go with... I'm trying to find some stuff that's different. Oh, what the heck. Let's do Marvel Thor. We'll pick that table. We'll pick 5 days. Permission, closed tournament, private. Everything else stays the same. Create and play. G P A R K E R. Just as it should be, where you can see it. Hit OK. Create and play. There you go. Thor, Marvel's Thor. It's gonna run for 5 days. Password's Thor. Password's Thor. Password's G. Parker. Good grief. I am kind of Thor, though. I've had a long day. Anyway, enough with the humor. Hey, you don't get to see how I did. To see how I did, you got to get in the tournament. Back to the show.
We can't do Marvel. You better get back and do another one.
Yeah, Marvel's not available on the Switch, right?
Right.
Yeah, so Switch people, you're right out. I mean,
sorry, Switch people.
Yeah, Greg was confused anyway, thinking he was Thor.
I'm surprised he didn't pick Fishtails.
Might as well have after that Archer table. What'd you think of that Archer table?
Oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding about the women in on that table, just the voices.
Yeah, she's just rude and arrogant, and just there are words that I won't use to describe her that I did in private. But I'm like,
I had
really?
never played that one before, and I was coming home, and you made that comment while I was driving home. I saw what you said because your text will come up on my screen in the car, and I was laughing about what you said. So I got in the house and started playing, and I'm like, oh man, I just got to mute the TV. I couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah, she is. She's a piece of work, that one. But so anything's a step up. But you guys, yeah, on the Switch you can't play it. So this will be for Steam players only, or I don't know if it's available on FX3 for other consoles. But I know it's not available on the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be playing on it out here on my PC, where I play all my my FX and FX3. I play it all out here now on this because the pinball machine is still down. So I just play it on widescreen mode. And I got to, I was watching your FX videos on the PlayStation 5, and that thing just records such great videos when you're playing it. It looks so nice. And then I got to play it on this PC. And when I first hooked it up, I was playing on my 4K TV. And I'm like, my gosh, this looks amazing. And so I'm kind of getting used to playing it. I know it seems like a sin to even say it, but I'm kind of getting to where I'm enjoying playing it as much as I do on the cabinet. So I'm not as depressed that my cabinet's not working, my table. But
Yeah.
so I'm having fun. Other than the fact that I have to play out here where it's usually warmer. But yeah, Derek says off-grid like in the landscape pinball. It's kind of cool on the FX. Now on VPX and stuff, I would prefer it on the cabinet because the design for that. But in FX and FX3, there's a lot of stuff on the side, you know, scenery and stuff and themed to the table that you're playing. But yeah, man, you know, Poe, when I did my Star Wars Saturday, you made a comment about all those TIE fighters flying around on the screen. And I guess I was so focused on the flippers when I watched my own replay, I was like, holy crap, how could I even see what was going on? Because there's so much stuff. But that was a fun little table. I had a good time with that table. It took me 2 games to beat Derek's score, so
Nice.
it took a minute. But Derek will play 117 times more, and then he'll beat me. But no, but that's pretty fun. So I will play the Thor table in your guys' honor, since Greg he doesn't show up for the thing, for the show. He puts a My Little Pony backdrop, and then he picks a game you guys can't. I thought he was joking when he said he thought you guys were dicks, but apparently he was serious.
And so, see, I'm such a nice guy that I don't share anywhere else except for right now. That when he was bragging about the Twilight Zone table the other day, while I was at work, I went on there and made sure I kicked his butt, and I just shared it with you guys. You know, I didn't go on the Discord and go, ha ha, look at this screenshot. Oh, I'm doing it right now, but I mean, I didn't do it then.
What? He beat my score?
He didn't beat. Yeah, he didn't beat your score. Now I did, but you were playing Dredge, so.
Yeah.
I need to go back and play.
I know that. Poe, you even beat Mike's score, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I must have been in the Twilight Zone at the time when it happened.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, everything started happening right, and I had multi-balls flying everywhere, and I'm like, what's going on here? Just keep at least one of these balls going. Come on. You know?
Yeah, doesn't it seem a lot easier? I mean, it's still difficult, but it seems like the Switch version, well, to me anyways, it seems like it's a little bit more easier and forgiving than the PlayStation version.
Yeah, I feel a little bit, yeah. And I guess that's one of the reasons they said they don't want them to be intermingled, so you can't join a tournament on the Switch if it was created for Steam or the others, because they say they're easier. But I think a lot of it depends on your skill level anyway, because some of those guys that are scoring 27 billion, I'm never going to beat them just because I'm on the Switch. But and then, yeah, Derek says different physics. That's what they're saying. There's different physics involved. But you know, I also go on the Pinball FX3 Reddit page, and which is where they talk about FX all the time. The Pinball FX on Reddit doesn't talk much about anything, but the FX3 talks.
Yeah.
And you'll see all the time where there was a big thread the other day. Someone has it on Steam and they have it on the Xbox, and they said, yeah, if I play on, I forget what they say. I think they were saying if they play it on the Xbox, he's like, yeah, I played it and I got, whatever, 104 million. Then I played it on Steam and I got 380 million. It's like, it's so much easier on this versus that. And I'm sure if you guys have it on PlayStation 5, and it's like if you played on Steam, you might be like, oh, one of these is much easier than the other. So I'm like, if they're all, the way I look at it, if you're playing in a tournament and you're that worried about it, you guys should, everyone should be making sure they're on the same, not only the same console, but the actual same machine. You know, when you play in a tournament of real pinball, you don't play on the Elvira table that's down the road, you know, 2 towns over, and I can play better on that one, so I'm going to count that score. You have to play on the same exact machine because machines play different. They all play different, and I'm sure there could be subtle differences between Poe, you, and Mike playing on PS5. There could be something that yours handles differently than Mike's does, and you're like, man, I can never get that shot. Mike's like, that shot's easy on my system. I can't get this other shot, you know. So it's all for fun anyway. What do I care? I'm just as stoked when you guys beat my score. As long as it's not Derek, I'm happy to see my score go down. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't take this stuff that seriously though. I'm having fun, and I just like seeing your guys' scores. And if I'm above you guys, great. If you're above me, good job. But yeah. Oh yeah, now he's saying Derek's saying Greg played on the Switch. That's how I beat him. But Mike's doesn't drain a lot. You know, he's just full of excuses, this guy. And clearly I've been happy a lot. I'm happy when I get beat. That last tournament, I was near the bottom. If it wasn't for Greg's pitiful performance on his hidden game that he doesn't let us see the score. And it's like, I wouldn't let people see that score either. But that's the only score I beat, so what am I talking about? But that's okay. That's okay. It's all for fun. It's all for fun. But that's all I got for today. Did Poe, did you have anything else you wanted to close out with?
No, I think that was it. Happy birthday, Famicom.
Happy birthday, Famicom. What about you, Mike? You got anything?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have something. Yeah, I know I did my last video. I had like skits and stuff, and I was like kind of thing. I talked to Poe about it, like, and I said, yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be stupid because, you know, who watches skits anymore? But what I got from the responses, I kind of looked at other people's responses on it. It's like, wow, it's been positive because I had my friend Jason, he was in the Air Force, helped me out, and he's like, dude, I love doing these kind of things. I did this back in the day when I was a kid. And so he was like happy to help me with the skits, and we just had a lot of fun. I'm like, yeah, this looks kind of amateurish, but I guess that'll work. And we uploaded it, and next thing you know, we had like a lot of people comment on the video, and they actually
I did want to add that. Make sure you go watch Mike's latest video. It is freaking hilarious. But that came out Monday. I've watched it twice already, probably 2 3/4 time already, laughing my butt off each time I've watched it. So.
It's an awesome video, and it's I like it. I like the skits. Kelly said
we
she
had
liked
even
it, very fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Navy skit especially, because that's kind of the true thing that happens on submarines. I mean, maybe not the 2 people that show up kind of wonder what they're doing, but yeah, I was kind of like, I'll put some military jokes in it, and it seems to get like, it was like funny to me, and I was kind of hoping it'd be funny for everybody else watching it, but yeah, seems to be pretty good. So I'm thinking like for when I do my next one, it's going to be kind of like that. So yeah, can't wait. And I'll be uploading a dredge too, because I want to do that. You guys did it, so I'll be doing a dredge video as well. So I'm kind of working on that. Yep. Excellent.
I just think it's so nice, Mike, that you have actual friends to help you make your videos. Because one time I did a little sketch video where I did this thing. It was Star Wars based, where I was playing Anakin and Padme, and if you're not with me, you're my enemy. I don't know if you guys saw that, or but I had to play all the parts because I don't have any friends. But,
I had to make up family members for my show, and he gets more views than I do. He was originally supposed to be me, and now he's become somebody. I don't even know what he is anymore, but he's more popular than I am. So,
right? Yeah, you just never know. But
and also Poe. Sorry, I forgot about you. Yeah, also Poe helped out with a skit too. So I didn't want to say anything. He was kind of my special guest on the show. So yeah, he was on there.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was not expecting to see Poe.
Yeah.
And
I flew out on my flight stand.
Was it
Yeah.
Greg drove you there on this Cessna?
now, see, Kelly was a little upset because when Poe came on the screen, she said, "Why didn't Mike let us know Poe was going to be on? We wouldn't have watched this while we're trying to eat dinner." But yeah. Oh, Derek wants to see my Star Wars video. That was a long time ago, and that was kind of a little inside joke video that was done. And I don't think I even have it anymore. It was just a little funny thing, but yeah.
It was hot.
Filters. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Speaking of which, you and Greg helped me on the Star Wars Super Nintendo games. You were stormtroopers in my
We were
video. Yep.
stormtroopers. Yeah, talking about how hard it was to shoot and aim and
Yeah.
and get.
I
in trouble.
remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good times. That was good time. Yeah, Kelly remembers some of that old stuff.
Oh yeah.
But all right, yeah. Anything else, guys? I don't really have any closing
that was
thoughts, any parting things. I'm not really working on anything special. I started doing those truck stems. I started doing that just for the heck of it, and like always, those are getting my most views of any videos that I'm putting out right now. So I didn't want to turn my channel into a simulation channel, but people seem to like watching them. But I love playing the game, so.
I saw, like, when I was looking at that game through Steam, it's got not mostly positive, but like overwhelmingly positive reviews. So it puts it in that category where it's like a must buy if you're into simulation. And also Dredge, when I looked up its ratings, it was like overly positive. Not like, mostly positive, because overly is like, I think the highest you can get on there. But like, wow, that's a really popular game. That people
Dredge
like to
is
play.
funny because when it came out, I really wasn't looking for that. I was like, I just started doing my live stuff on my channel, and I'm like, what could I get that I could just like talk and play while I'm playing? I'm like, well, fishing's kind of boring, but at the same time, my buddy and I, there was nothing else at the rental store in the Super Nintendo days or Nintendo days. Sometimes we would just rent like Black Bass or whatever, one of those games. And even though it was a one-player game, we would sit there and watch each other play it or take turns and just talk, I'm like, maybe there's a fishing game for the PS5 or something that I could get. And I found that there was like a horror type of fishing game. I'm like, what is this thing? So then I bought it, and I let Greg know about it first. I'm like, he likes to play Switch games. It's out for the Switch. This might be something he likes. And so I sent him this message about this game, and he's just like, ding, thumbs up. Yeah, go get him, buddy. I'm like, okay, you jerk, whatever.
Yeah. I kind of think Dredge is like a little sleeper game that no one knows about it. I don't know why, because it takes you about 7 seconds into the game and you're already kind of hooked. You pull out of that the first time you pull your boat away from the dock and you can see the bubbles where you can go fishing, and you're like, let's go, let's do this. And then you're like, oh wait, I can upgrade my boat and I can do this. And wait, now I'm out at nighttime, and holy shit, I can't see anything. There's something. And you're like, I got to get back, and I don't know where I'm going. I can't see anything. It's just such a fun game that you would think that it would be more popular, because until you did that video, Bo, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
And
Same here.
and I'm not going to say I have my finger on the pulse of gaming and know everything about games and stuff, but never even heard of it, and it's such a good game.
I downloaded a game today, and I'm not sure how great this game is, but I had never heard of it, and you guys might have. I was looking up that rock and roll racing or whatever today, and I see this game called Rock of Ages 3. I'm like, what's this? Well, it's like a tower defense type of boulder type of game where you can roll in and blow up towers. But the whole thing looks like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, they show the different paintings of the gods, but they're like, that kind of stuff. I'm like, what is this? I want this game. And then I found out that it was free with PlayStation Plus, so I downloaded it.
Oh.
I plan on playing this thing, but look up the trailer for this Rock of Ages 3. It looks freaking hilarious. You see, like, King Henry VIII, and his mouth is going, it looks like Monty Python stuff. And I'm laughing my ass off watching this trailer. I'm like, I've got to at least try this game. And being that it's free on PlayStation Plus, now I got the thing, so I'm going to be trying this thing out. Never heard of it. And there's a Rock of Ages 2 that's also on the PlayStation that came out in like 2016. And I'm like, where have I been that I've never heard of these games,
Excellent. Look forward to the video for that. Hint, hint.
Yeah, same here.
Make a video. Let's see. Derek said a couple things I should probably acknowledge before we go. He asked about my link cable charging with my when I plugged my Quest in. I think the biggest problem was my Quest was like completely dead when I came in here and tried, because I've read that when you're playing on a Quest, even plugged in, you will lose a little bit of power over time. But you could play a long time. But so I keep it fully charged. I have a powered USB hub that's USB 3.0, so it passes through the data. So I am good to go. I can do really long drives or really long flights in VR right now. Rock and Roll Racing, where because your truck simulator video off-grid, that's why I got the game. One of the main reasons I got Driving Wheel. Yeah, that truck simulator, it is a fun game. And if you like driving, and it's funny because you have these missions, but it's kind of relaxing. You're just cruising around. Driving in VR is cool. I think it's a lot like the flight sim stuff where you're flying general aviation. It's fine. You start getting in a fighter jet, you got to worry about it. I'm worried about playing like a racing game where things are moving faster, especially if it's a Mario Kart or something where a lot of stuff happens. That might make me sick. But this truck driving game in VR, it's just awesome, to be able to look in your mirror and see what's behind you instead of having to pan over. So that's kind of cool. He was doing voice to text. Some of that stuff, it was you, Poe. He said voice to text grabbed some of what you were saying in his last text. That's why that thing was. Ballistic Coffee wants to say thanks, guys. Fun conversation. Have a great week, which sounds like a perfect place to end this video because that's what I want to say. This was fun, guys.
Yeah, really good.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And I think that's all we got. Unless you guys.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll see you next week. Probably Greg will be here, and maybe we'll have a different strawberry shortcake background or something.
Yes.
So thanks for watching, everyone. We will catch you next week.
What?
Bye.
Stretch Armstrong is waving. We don't want to wait until he gets to the fifth appendage.
That part don't stretch.